This is the final part of the project. This project is something to blow minds, as now gives us the ability to process data on the browsers. You'd wonder how much money you'd save on servers if you'd validate files or pre-process them on the client side before updating and process them on your servers. It's a game changing, and I hope you'll be able to implement it on your own projects and see results right away. You now implement the feature to find and count how many times a word was found in this specific property, and at the same time report progress with the number of the lines processed already and much more. Are you excited to finish this project? So let's get started. Well, I'm gonna close our project from the last class. I'm gonna stop the project, and I'm gonna do the same thing that we've done. I'm gonna copy paste and just call it as 3. On the second, remember to remove the database so you won't consume too many data. I'm gonna go now to the third, and then in game start. Nice. I'm gonna update the browser here, and if we click search, you can see the process files here. If I click on choose file and select a small database and I click search, we can see that it's parsing everything from the small file to JSON. Now our goal is to go to the call description and search items. It's easier now, right? Because everything is already on JSON. So we just want to go to the JSON here. We could even try searching this on the text, but I wanted to parse to JSON just to increase a bit more the complexity. Perfect. Now, in the service, I'm gonna call here as we know that everything that returns from here will be a separate line from JSON, we can start counting this. So let line counter 0. I'm gonna put this like this because we can use it as a reference, so I can send to other pipelines later. So now I'm gonna create a new transform. So new transform string, same idea, transform chunk controller. I'm gonna just enqueue. It will look like a pass-through string, but here I'm gonna just receive our line counter, down counter, and plus, because I know for each chunk that goes through here will be a separate line. Well, I'm gonna select this whole piece, and I'm gonna say that I'm gonna extract to service. I just click Ctrl dot or Command dot on Mac, or you can select this and just click here and extract to the source. Okay, so here it's gonna be count lines, so it actually has to be a private. Okay, nice. So once we have it here, we have the line counter. Okay, after it, I'm gonna create a new function now to search. So here we are just counting the lines and keeping it in memory here and just updating this variable. But then we need a function to find occurrences. So it's find occurrences. So to find occurrences, I'm gonna use the query. Okay, so it's gonna return, I'm gonna copy paste from here, a transform string. There's no counter here, and we're gonna pipe through this, find occurrences with the query. So now you can see that it's exactly the same idea of what we've been using on Node.js, right? So we are processing huge amounts of data on demand, and it doesn't matter if it's gigabytes, terabytes, it doesn't matter, as we are just processing as the data is available. Perfect. So on find occurrences, we know we should run our algorithm now to try finding our objects. So first of all, I'm gonna grab the query keys. Okay, the query keys will be the columns that we have. So object.keys query, and I'm gonna put an object called found here, because this query could be that like call description, description, I don't know, imagine ski, anything here. So I'm gonna grab only the keys, so I'm gonna keep just what we are trying to find, but if you go here and put other columns, it will work as well. So I'm gonna keep just the call description, and I'm gonna put all the object keys on this variable. So when I put on the found here, I'm gonna say, oh, I found I don't know, this amount of data on this function. Okay, let's see how this works in practice. So for the chunk, actually I'm gonna go in the key index of our keys, so query keys. For each key, I will try finding that item. So const key, query keys, on our key index, because we're gonna need this key index later. Actually, it could be just the key of, and we're gonna grab just the key here later. Perfect. Now I know which is the key, and then I will need to have the value as well. So const value is our query in the key, and then I'm gonna pass to our found in the position of the query value, just the value here. And then what I'm gonna say here, well, imagine the value here is this key, so I want to say that my found here will have, I found maybe 10 key occurrences on the file, or hold here, how many? Hold and the amount. So here I'm gonna use the value as the key for the found. Okay, so it will receive itself or 0 if it doesn't exist. Okay, and now we can use the value. The value, we know that it's a regex, right? And because it's a regex, we can use test. You don't remember? You can go on the controller here, or it was here. You can see it's gonna be a regex, right? So because it's a regex, we can use a lot of functions, and one of them is test. So test is trying to validate if my function is okay there. So I'm gonna say the chunk I received in the position of key if it contains our variable that we are passing the query. So if it contains, I'm gonna increase this value. So ++. Otherwise, I won't do anything here. I will just notify to our controller in queue here. Just it. With this code, we know how many occurrences we found. So I'm gonna grab here and say what is the value. Okay, the value is there. Here I'm just passing through the chunk. I should pass through the found actually, because we are changing the value here, and I'm gonna omit this. So here, what I did here, nothing. Okay, so let's go to the small here, and the small, what do we have there? On the call description is here, vehicle. So I'm gonna go to the vehicle, and search. So value is vehicle. Yeah, it seems to have one only, right? Let me try searching. Vehicle, just one. Hold has more. Hold has 8. So let's see. Hold and search. Ooh, it printed out 8 times, right? Nice. It seems it's working. So physical, let's see. Physical, there's 2. I'm gonna put physical and just twice. Ooh, very nice, very nice. All right, we know that our algorithm here to find and to search items on demand is working fine. And now the only thing is missing is to notify the browser, right? Is to notify how many items we have found. So now I'm gonna just comment our writable string, and I'm gonna create another one. So pipe 2, and I'm gonna create a new function here, which will be called notify progress bar. So I'm gonna receive on progress, which is actually I'm gonna receive the on currency update and the file size. So we can try. Actually, I don't need this. I only will need the line's length, right? So this line counter, it's our line counter, because now I'm gonna notify the front end with a text, and now I can know how many lines were processed, how many occurrences we found, and then we can call them. Nice. So notify, and then we go on occurrence and our line counter. Here could be a const, because we are just changing the reference, not the variable. Okay, now our notify should be a writable string. So we're gonna have the write and the chunk. Well, I think here on our controller, the on-currency update is just receiving the data, right? So we're gonna call this on occurrence update, and I'm gonna create a new object here. So I'm gonna have the found. So what returned from the find occurrence was the found, right? So I'm gonna put here as found. So found and line counter, which will be our liner counter dot counter. Let's save it and see how the console log will work there now. So I'm gonna grab the small database, and I won't put any description here. I'm just gonna click start, and the writable string, it's missing a null. Save it, and let's see. Search. Ooh, now I can see there's 20 lines. Let's see if this number matches. Yeah, it's actually 20, because it's a header, right? But it's 19. So there's our last thing here. So for every occurrence update, we're gonna call our view to update this in real time. This is gonna be great when we be using a big file. Perfect. I want to do something more interesting here. I want to say how long it took, like a timer. So started at performance.now. And then I'm gonna create a function called elapsed, which will have the calculation for us. So here I'm gonna have performance.now less the started at. Okay, so we know how long it took from the start when you start processing this. So divided by 1,000. So put them all in a new parenthesis. Okay. After the parenthesis, I'm gonna say to fix it 2, and right after the brackets here, secs. So I'm gonna put here took, elapsed, and the value. So every time I received a new occurrence here, I'm gonna call this function, and we're gonna have this calculation working. So if it's 1 second, 2 seconds, and so on. So let's see. I'm gonna save it, choose a file, and send it there. So you can see, yeah, 0, 0, because it's small, this file, right? Let's try getting the bigger one. So it's on third assets database. So I'm gonna run, and now you can see the sex changing here, right? Nice. So you can see how long it takes. So I'm gonna just update this value, so we don't need to process until the end. And that's it for now. Well, our service is working fine here. Our service is calculating data, notifying information. Now we should just call our view and update the log with the results. And then we close this class finally. So on the view side, I'm gonna say update report. I'm gonna use text and I'm gonna pass reset equals true. So we can say that we can replace all the values. So if reset was passed, the report dot inner text it's equals text and then remove. Otherwise, I'm gonna just append it, right? So plus equal. Now in the controller side, I can try using our own occurrence update. Now we know that this is being called. Like when on our server, we know these objects, right? I'm gonna put it there on the controller. So found, took, and line counter. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna say view update report. This is the name, yeah, update report. Well, we can get from here the values. Yeah, this is gonna be great. So the first key and the first value, object dot entries from found. Okay, because I want to print the property we were trying to find and the value we are using. So here, found value occurrences of key over line counter lines took and took. Let's say, and any time that we have a new submit here, we can say that our update report is gonna be empty. Yeah, in the end, we will never have this reset. I think it's just our text. Oh no, it's right, it's all right. Here, and by default it's reset. Yeah, it doesn't make much sense. So anytime we're gonna just replace it because it's a single log. Perfect. So when we have a new form, we're gonna update the log with empty, and in the controller we're gonna update it once we have an event here. So I just save it and let's check this out. So I'm gonna put hold, that we know that it's on the smaller one first, and gonna click search, and now found 8 of hold. So let's go to the file and search for hold. So 8, ooh, 9, isn't it? And then 19 there, so it's 19 if we don't count the line. Perfect. Let's try on the bigger file. So I'm gonna just select the database here, and I'm gonna click search, just it, search. Now we can see in real time our progress bar just being updated. We can see our took, it's going on our seconds as expected. Occurrence of empty on the regex, and found all the data. Now you can notice that we can keep clicking in everywhere here, right? Because all this processing is being executed behind the scenes on the background. But when I disable here, you're gonna see that our front end side is gonna won't be so performant as we see here. All right, we have 922 lines. Let's see if we have this. So I'm gonna go to the end. Yes, 922, 176. 175 because it's without the column. Nice, nice, nice. So let's try find like an assault, and I'm gonna click. Let's see how many occurrences we have there. Perfect. We have 12,000, right? So let's try seeing if this is correct. So I'm gonna go to the module 6, the third, assets. I'm gonna go on cat on our database, and I'm gonna filter by assault, and I'm gonna count the lines. Oops, assault, it's missing U. Let's see if the number is exactly the same. Yes, my friends. Nice, isn't it? But what if we click here and click in search? Well, we didn't implement this, right? So it's just missing calling from service. So on main thread now. So if it's from the main thread, we just call our service process file. Okay. We have query. What if we have the file as well? And then we have to implement the on progress. So we're gonna have total, and we're gonna call it manually. So events progress total, simulating what the web worker is doing behind the scenes. And on, let's see how we call that. I don't know the name. It's on occurrence update. On progress, on occurrence update. Okay, in this case, I'm gonna do exactly the same thing we've done on the web worker. Okay, and then we call events occurrence update and just pass through the args. So I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna start doing with the small one so we can see how long it will take, and I'm gonna click start. So pretty much the same. It's pretty fast, but if we go to the biggie one, you're gonna see that now the hover is working, right? If I move my mouse through the buttons, I can click here and see the values. However, let me put the database again. If I click on search, now you can see everything is frozen. I cannot click anywhere because it's on the main thread. All right. So all the heavy processing should go to the web worker on the browser. So you see that this is gonna be executed. You're gonna see the final result here as expected, but it will take a while. And while this is executing, you can see it was 27 seconds, but everything was breaking, right? So if I choose the web threads now and I click, it was 27. Let's see if the time will be better. But now you can see I can move, I can start clicking, I can interact with the page. Oh, I just did a mistake. If I click yeah, let's see. Yeah, it's processing it. Let's see how long it will take. I think in the end, the time will be very, very similar, because this is not about being faster. This is about being asynchronous. So we are sending the responsibility to someone else to execute the whole thing. It was much more slower. I don't know if I click again. Let's select and just see if it's gonna be faster, because I clicked on choose file right in the middle. But yeah, my friend, with this, you can save a lot of money. Imagine now you can, before uploading files, you can validate the files on the front end side. You can map or pre-process it before sending to your servers. By doing this, you're gonna save a lot of time and a lot of costs on servers. So this is pretty amazing. Yeah, 33 seconds to process almost 1 million items, processing CSV to JSON, processing binary data to text, then the CSV text to JSON, then filtering all the data and notifying the interface layer. Amazing, isn't it? As I said, this is a new world for using web streams. Tell me here in the comments for what cases you would use web streams and web workers there. I would love to hear from you. Well, this is the last content of this training, and what a journey, huh? In this next module, you build the final project I prepared for you, and I hope this course has changed the way you code JavaScript. As always, I'm available to chat with you on our Discord channel. Don't forget to rate this class and the others, alright? I hope this module has exceeded your expectations. I'm Eric Wendell, and I'll see you in the next module.